How's it going, everybody? I'm back in Fallout 4, again at Starlight Drive-In. I'm going to be finishing up the second half of this junk wall that I've been building around the settlement. This one's a little bit different than the last time. So this one's going to have this little guard post out front on the front end of the settlement, and it's going to be kind of sectioned off from everything else. You'll see what I mean in the finished build. But I use Aslam's junk wall pack heavily in this build, and that's where I get that little like outpost thing that I just put down, this little junk wall piece. And then I try to make some interesting looking walls, and so I've referred to this kind of before about how I was going to um, build something that was similar to something I hadn't shown you guys yet. And so that's kind of what this is, the first half of this wall at least. So pretty much I try to build off of the side of the uh, movie theater screen. So I try to make the wall like really tall alongside of that, and then uh, it's pretty interesting. So right here, this is what I was referring to. So I pretty much take the warehouse walls, and I found with the most recent update for USO, I found as many different looking warehouse textured walls as I could, and I just kind of stacked those up as tall as I really could get them. Uh, I probably could have got it a little bit taller. I just didn't really want to go overboard with this. So I feel like even looking at it now, after I finished it and stuff, it still looks like I could have done it differently. But I just don't want to go back and change this because it's kind of a big thing to change, especially after I've finished like the rest of the build, obviously. But yeah, so I pretty much just move that up on top of the warehouse pieces. Take this, I guess, end cap or whatever these are, the little half walls, and I put that on the end to kind of make the texture look a little bit different. And I thought maybe I'd look at how tall this was in comparison to the actual theater screen, and it's kind of hard to tell, but I let go of it and I can see that it's not even really close to the top. So what I thought that I would do is I would move those both, and then I realized that doesn't make any sense, that I need to use place anywhere. And so I try to get it from down here. This won't work, so I go up to the top and I look down, and then I start moving it because I don't know if everyone's used place anywhere, but whenever you do, you can't really use the movement, the item movement like you can just building regularly. So usually if you hold X and move the analog, you can move the item around. Nice, I just broke my legs. But usually you can move the item around, but if you hold L1 while you're doing that, it will move it up and down. And so sometimes if an item is kind of glitched out a little bit, if you do that, it'll automatically move it like down a bunch. It'll move it like it'll move it to a different place than you wanted it to be. And so anytime you use place anywhere, it pretty much does that. And to kind of make this wall look a little bit more believable rather than it's just floating, I was trying to find a wall that had a similar texture, and I ended up finding that there is a retextured, not this metal one, but this one, retextured junk wall with the most recent update of USO that has the same texture as the warehouse tab, so it fits right in. And like I said, that wall out there was going to be sectioned off, I go ahead and I place like a door frame from the junk walls tab, so the junk door. I place that right in this spot so that it's kind of a door blocking that area off from the inside of the settlement, but you can still get out to it. So it's not just as open. And I realized that that fence on the outskirt of the settlement is broken all over the place. I do deal with that, but I just don't show it in the build. So, talking about repeating textures. So for some reason, I thought that this was a really good idea, and I put this same texture like back to back. And I thought at the time it didn't look bad. I was like, oh, it doesn't look bad right there. And then I was like, I'll just use this texture around this corner. Like it's like one continuous wall, I guess. I don't know why I thought that that would be a good idea. Because I look at it now and it looks awful. So I look at this and I go, that's way too many. So I delete one. And then I continue the wall with another retextured junk wall. So with USO, they've got some retextured walls. And so I use this one, and it just changed all the wooden planks to this green. And I don't know why I picked a green. I think it's just because the wall next to it was green. I was like, it'll look like they were kind of trying to make it blend or something like that. Don't know why I did that, because it doesn't look good. But at this point, it's too late to fix it. I can't really go back and change it all that much without having to change the entire wall. And I'm not going to do that because it's a lot of work. And so, again, in an attempt to make the wall as scrappy as possible, I go ahead and I use the pillar glitch to move this up on top of that wall. Because I want it to kind of come down from that double high junk wall down to these walls. And so I was just lining that up. And so now I'm just trying to pretty much figure out how I was going to get the wall to kind of not just go straight off that angle. So I thought I would use these half jack walls, and I didn't want it to look so neat. So I used the balcony railings as well on top of that. And so I place this on there, and I think that it actually turns out pretty alright. But I just go ahead and pillar glitch this up on top of the wall, lined up with that half wall on the right side. And like I said before, holding L1 and, or well, X and then L1 and the analog, I'm able to move it up. And I just sit here and fidget with this for a little bit until I can get it in the right spot. No gaps, anything like that. It's not at a weird angle. And then I didn't want to have that huge like grate in that wall, but I like the rest of the texture of the wall, so I thought, oh, I'll just use these new railings from USO in this, but not realizing that that is concrete, and then that there's also better looking corrugated steel ones, more fitting. I don't know why I didn't think of something like that. I broke up the texture up there. And then I look around for a little bit thinking, oh, I'll find something else to put on here, but I ended up just putting this at the top to kind of break up that texture up there too. And now I think it looks a lot scrappier and looks a lot better, so I just go ahead and pillar glitch this into the side of this junk wall. Yeah, so then I use a reverse junk fence, and I kind of Well, I use the pillar glitch, and I kind of glitch it through this wall a little bit. I wish I had deleted that concrete railing first, because it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't look good, and you can't even see it anymore. So, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then to kind of have a different texture on this side, I used some metal pieces. I'm actually probably going to be moving on from this settlement pretty soon. I have probably a couple more builds that I'm going to do. I'm going to do like a little sniper tower, like guard tower thing at the top of the at the top of the screen. It's not really at the top. I've got an idea that I've never really seen anyone ever do. And it made me honestly have an idea for like future builds in this settlement. So if I ever rebuild here, I probably will do something on the front of the movie screen, but it'll probably be different. It's not going to be a massive like trade center or whatever. But I've got some ideas for the future in Starlight Drive and in a different playthrough, obviously. But right here, I'm just trying to finish this junk wall off. We're getting really close to 500 subs. Uh, Today, while I'm recording this, it's Thursday. This video is going to be up tomorrow as of this recording, so Friday. We're at 480 subs, which is awesome. And like in the last month, I've gained like 300 something subs. And it's been crazy. My view count is like insane. Because I mean, I feel like a lot of people, I mean, have high view or have high sub counts, but you guys are way more active than I feel like I've ever seen someone's like subscribers. It's crazy. Uh, I enjoy being able to like have conversations with you guys in the comments and stuff like that. You guys giving me feedback, giving me ideas for builds and stuff like that. Uh, I do like listen to you guys and your ideas. I comment back pretty much to everybody anytime they comment on my videos. Because I mean I don't have like a million comments. I know that sometimes I do get behind on commenting back to everybody, but usually if I haven't commented back, I eventually will. I'm very busy with work and stuff like that, and so I don't always have time to get on here and comment back to everybody, but I try to make time. And yeah, I'm almost done with this first half along this side to these houses. And then I do something on the other side. But nothing really that crazy. And like I said, I was going to be using Aslam's junk walls. So I am using them right here. I think that these are awesome. These junk walls are a bit ridiculous. They are insane. They're things that I wish that I was able to make with what I have available in the game. But I really can't. And so he's added so much stuff that is more interesting than I'll ever be able to make. And yeah, it's just insane what people have been able to make for us players to be able to use in our settlements. And this is the other side of the like houses or whatever, and so I just wanted to connect this fence to the houses on the right of me. And so to do that, I used this kind of curved bit and then this like guard post. And so it says your settlers won't actually use this, and they won't regularly. So what I ended up doing is using the pillar glitch with the rugs, the guard rugs, and I put those on some invisible rugs, which are in the glitch tools section in USO, and I just kind of pillar glitched those onto the parts where I wanted guards to kind of stand, or have a guard stand and switch between or whatever, and ended up working like really well. And he stands up on top of uh, the concrete like pathway, and then also that box on the other side. And to kind of fill in this gap, I found another thing using tires. So uh, there was tires on that other like wall, so I decided to use more tires on this side. And then to fill in the gap on the end there, I just used a little half wall. So the tour will be up here in a second, but like I said, I probably only have a few more builds left in Starlight Drive-In. The frame rate is, I mean, getting ridiculous, and you guys will probably notice it in the next couple builds. I just feel like there's some things that I have to do before I finish this settlement. There's things that I feel like I need to add. And I mean, it's probably something that I could do later. Because, I mean, right here, once everything's loaded in, frames usually aren't a problem. But it's mainly just, like, if I load in for a little while, the frames will be a big, huge issue. So, as you can see right here, I put the or not junk fences, but the chain link fences along. And I did it on the other side, too. So they can't actually get to that storage room either. And then, yeah, I think that this looks really scrappy and nice. But the channel is going great. Like I was saying earlier, we're almost to 500 subscribers, which is insane to me. And all the feedback and the comments that I get from you guys are awesome. I always appreciate everything that you guys suggest and everything that you guys can tell me about my builds that help me get better at building and stuff like that. But yeah, I really appreciate all the support and stuff. But we only have a few more builds here at Starlight, and then I'm going to be moving on to another settlement. Not 100% sure yet, but thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.